Anime, Hitler, abortion. What do all these things have in common? Well, stick around and find in today's video. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel and don't know, my name is Raphael. I am the host of the Small Town Bible Questions YouTube channel, and I help answer your Bible questions and help you navigate through this crazy culture of ours through a biblical lens. And that's just what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to be talking about a topic that's at the forefront of our culture, and that is abortion. And so you might be wondering, well, what does anime and Hitler have to do with the topic of abortion? Well, I am so glad you asked, because that's what we're going to be talking about. I've recently started hearing about this anime and started watching it, and it's called The 86. Now, if you've never heard or watched The 86, warning, there's going to be spoilers ahead. So if you're maybe planning on watching the anime, I'd suggest maybe you pause this video, go and watch it, get caught up, and then come back and watch the rest of this video. And since I have you here, and if you haven't, go like this video and also subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon. It's a short 24 episode anime that's about these two different kingdoms, one being the Republic of San Magnolia and the other being the Empire of Gilead. Now, the Empire of Gilead had created these AI spider robots to fight its war, but surprise, surprise, the AI get their own mind and destroy them, and also still go on to destroy the Republic of San Magnolia. But to the luck of the Republic of San Magnolia, these AI only have a 2-year life expectancy. So all that they have to do is wait them out till they die. And so the Republic of San Magnolia also have their own spider robots that are autonomous, or so they say. And in the show, it follows one of the main characters whose name is Lena, and she is a commander for the Republic of San Magnolia, and she controls these spider robots that are fighting against the AI robots from the Empire of Gilead. Now, throughout the show, you see how whenever they go to battle and are fighting against the Empire of Gilead, they are celebrating because they aren't dying. None of the people from the Republic of the San Magnolia are dying in this war because they are using these robots that are fighting this battle till the AI expire, or so they say. Because when you start watching the show, you start to realize that, one, all of the people of the Republic of San Magnolia look alike. They all have blue eyes and white hair, and the reason that is because, one, they have ostracized anybody who doesn't look like them into the 86th district. And those are all the people who are the others, who aren't really human, who look differently. And you might start feeling some of the Hitler vibes here, and you would be right. Because what they have done is dehumanize all of these people who don't have blue eyes and white hair, and have outed them and put them in a camp. And then you start finding out that all of the people who are in this camp in the 86th district is what they are actually doing is putting all those people in these mecha spider robots to fight against the Empire of Gilead. And so even though all of these people from the 86th district that are in this camp are dying, and so when they are dying in the war, all of the people of the Republic of San Magnolia are okay with it, because to them, these people are not humans. They are less than, because they don't have blue eyes and white hair, and I'm assuming probably some other things. And in the same way that the people of the Republic of San Magnolia have dehumanized these people to justify their violence against what they're doing, it's the same thing that Hitler did with the Jewish people. He dehumanized them to be able to justify his violent actions of basically committing a massive genocide. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what does this have to do with the whole topic of abortion? Well, if you've been a part of the discussion on the topic of abortion, you are probably putting the puzzle pieces together and starting to think about how we too have done that, and we've done that for the past 50 years where we've dehumanized unborn children to the point where it justifies our violence and our genocide that we're committing against unborn children. And some of those ways that we've done that is by one of the common arguments that people give is by saying things like, well, they don't feel pain, which, to a certain degree, it's true that at a certain point of the unborn child, they don't feel pain. But that doesn't justify the fact that just because they don't feel pain, that we can terminate their lives. But for people, they turn off their brains and they're like, okay, that's fine. But one of the examples that we give people who go with that argument is that there are people who suffer from a medical condition called CIPA, which stands for congenital insensitivity to pain and anhidrosis. And all that means is that these people have a condition where they're not allowed, or they don't feel pain. They don't have the ability to. And so we wouldn't be justified in killing them and saying, well, they don't feel pain, so it's okay to end their lives. You would kind of think that I was stupid for saying something so absurd like that. But that's just what we are doing with unborn children. We say, well, they don't feel pain, so it's okay if we kill them or end that life. Now, another way that people have dehumanized unborn children is by saying, it's not a human, it's a fetus. Now, the funny thing is that when you go look up the definition of fetus, it'll tell you that it's an offspring of that species. And so for us, it would be an unborn human. But to the people who keep saying, it's not a baby, it's not a human, it's a fetus, it's a way for them to numb their brains to the fact that it's an unborn child. And in them not thinking that, oh, it's a child, it numbs it to where they can justify their actions of murdering and taking the life of that baby. Not only that, but a fetus is just another stage of life for us humans being in the mother's womb. And so whenever you say something like, oh, it's not a human, it's a fetus, and that justifies the fact that we can terminate this life, it's so silly because it's just another stage of the human life. It would be like me saying, oh, it's not a human, it's just a toddler. And obviously, that wouldn't justify me taking that toddler's life. And so that is exactly what pro-choicers are doing. They're numbing their brains by changing the terms or making themselves believe that it's not a human by using the word fetus. Now, another way in which people have dehumanized unborn children, and I think this is one of the worst, because not only do they dehumanize the unborn child, but they also villainize that unborn child by calling it a parasite. Now, you more than likely have heard people referring to unborn children as parasites. Now, the problem with that, there's a couple problems with that. One, it's that by definition, a parasite, it's of a different species, but unborn children are of the same species. But not only that, it also creates a problem where we now as humans reproduce by some sort of parasitism, to where the consequences of our bodies not getting, or women's bodies not getting rid of this parasite is another species or another human from our own species, which is just absurd. And so just as the people of the Republic of San Magnolia have bought the propaganda to dehumanize these people to justify their violent actions, is just the same way in which what Hitler did in selling out the propaganda of dehumanizing the Jewish people. It's the same thing that we have done with unborn children. We dehumanize them, and then it justifies our atrocious genocide that we've committed over the last 50 years. And so for us Christians, our duty is to speak out against this atrocious injustice that's going on and has been going on for the last 50 years. Because our human value is not determined by some arbitrary rules of, well, this person doesn't feel pain, or this person is tiny in this stage of life and doesn't look like us. It's not determined by those, but rather our value as humans, it's determined by being human and by being created in the image of God. all humans are image bearers. And so when we destroy and end and terminate innocent baby's life, we are destroying the image of God. So we are to speak out against this injustice and keep pointing out to our society how they bought the same Nazi propaganda of dehumanizing a certain group of humans to then justify the violent crimes that are committed against them. Now, those are some of the things that came to my mind as I watched and read some of the 86, and just how there's so much similarity in the dehumanization of, the Nazis in the same way that we've dehumanized unborn children. And so if you've made it this far in this video, I hope that one, it's maybe changed the perspective in how you see unborn children, or have maybe even just realized how our culture views unborn children. And two, that it's set a fire in your heart to go out there and speak for the unheard, because after all, unborn children can't fight for themselves and can't speak for themselves. So it is our duty for us to speak for those who are unheard. Now, that is all that I have for today's video. I hope that it's been beneficial to you, and that if you have enjoyed this video, please just leave a like and or share. And if you haven't done so, subscribe and hit that bell icon. But until next time, God bless.